I tried to change my girlfriend's princess style, then she broke my heart. Moved on. From an ex with princess syndrome, now happily supporting my wife's hobbies. Reddit family, my relationship with my ex-girlfriend began as a friendship during our college years, a time marked by shared classes and mutual friends. Though we never ventured beyond casual chats and group hangouts, things changed after she threw her graduation cap into the air. As the familiarity of our academic surroundings faded, our bond deepened into something more meaningful. Over the past 5 months, what started as a gentle rekindling of acquaintance blossomed into a deep and comfortable romance. We found joy in each other's company, relishing in shared silences, just as much as in conversation. Our love has developed an easy rhythm, like a long familiar song, yet each day brings a new verse, a little surprise that strengthens our connection. What set her apart from others was her distinctive sense of style. She dressed in a way that could only be described as princess fairy tale, with long frilly skirts and lace blouses making up the majority of her wardrobe. This wasn't just for special occasions, it was her daily attire, except at work. With her striking looks, she carried this style with effortless grace, and I initially found it utterly charming. However, as our relationship progressed, I became increasingly aware of the time and effort she devoted to maintaining this aesthetic. She didn't just wear these clothes, she lived and breathed them. She ran a popular blog dedicated to her fashion sensibilities, gaining a significant following. She spent hours each day posting photos, managing links to similar clothing items, and even creating pieces for her Etsy store. Our outings often turned into public spectacles, with people openly staring and, in some cases, taking photos, thinking they had spotted a character from a storybook. This level of attention began to make me uncomfortable. I once suggested she tone down her outfits, especially when we were together, but she only agreed to leave out accessories like hairpieces. Her overall style remained unchanged. While I love her deeply and appreciate her for who she is, I also expressed concerns about how her style might affect the way others perceive her. I admired her intelligence and kindness, but I worried these qualities might be overshadowed by her dramatic attire. Despite our discussions, she seemed to dismiss my concerns, perhaps thinking I was asking her to change who she was. When she landed a new job, I quietly hoped the professional environment might nudge her toward a more conventional style. However, the opposite happened. Her colleagues and boss were incredibly supportive of her unique fashion sense. Rather than being seen as out of place, her distinctive dresses and accessories became a point of fascination and admiration in the office. Her boss, a dynamic woman, known for encouraging creativity, praised her for her authenticity and the personal flair she brought to the team. Her colleagues, too, often expressed their delight at seeing her daily outfit choices, which they viewed as a breath of fresh air in the sometimes staid office environment. This unexpected outcome reminded me of the importance of embracing individuality. It showed that personal style and professional success are not mutually exclusive. They can enhance one another in a supportive environment. Navigating this aspect of our relationship, however, proved challenging. I wanted to be supportive and celebrate her individuality, but I also felt the need to discuss the potential long-term impacts of her choices. I struggled to communicate my feelings without coming across as critical or unsupportive. It was a delicate balance, finding a way to address my concerns while respecting her self-expression. I was still figuring out how best to approach the conversation. Update 1. I didn't plan on updating, but things changed. Last week, she called me after work and asked if she could stop by my place. I agreed, thinking we could enjoy a relaxed evening and maybe discuss my thoughts over dinner. But when she arrived, I sensed something was off. She declined my offer to cook dinner and instead said we needed to have a serious conversation. Half-jokingly, I asked if she was breaking up with me, and the look of guilt on her face said it all before she even spoke. She explained that we were at different stages in our lives and wanted different things for our futures. Sitting across from me at our favorite cafe, she calmly and almost rehearsed explained her need for change. She envisioned a future that didn't include me and felt it was time for her to move to a new city. The realization that we were breaking up sank in slowly, like a stone sinking to the bottom of a lake. It was my first time experiencing a breakup, and it was tough. We parted ways with a promise to remain friends, but as I walked away, the emptiness of that promise lingered in the air. The suddenness of it all left me reeling. In the days that followed, I grappled with a mix of emotions, moments of rational understanding mixed with pangs of loss. I tried to keep busy with hobbies and meetups with friends, but the adjustment was a work in progress. I found myself relearning how to be just me again, without the us that had been so integral to my identity. The breakup, as gentle and reasoned as it was, marked the end of a chapter. It was painful, but it also made me reflect on personal growth. Social media made the fallout even harder. I noticed a surge in interactions on her profile after she changed her relationship status. It stung to see so many alternative-looking guys liking her posts and commenting on her pictures. Though I knew they were probably just friends and admirers from her blogging community, it still hurt. Each notification felt like a small jab. It was difficult not to feel replaced or overlooked, as though our shared moments could be overshadowed by a few likes and comments. I knew logically that social media interactions are often superficial, but it still stung. A friend of mine suggested setting me up on a date, thinking it might help me move on. Part of me thought it could be a good distraction, but another part of me felt unready to date again so soon. I realized that I needed time to heal, reflect on the past, and rebuild my emotional resilience. Update 2. Recently, I stumbled upon an old email account I hadn't accessed in nearly a decade. Logging in was like opening a time capsule. I found old messages from friends and reminders of an old breakup that had once seemed like the end of the world. Looking back, that breakup feels like a distant echo. It was painful at the time, but now it seems like just another step in my journey. Today, I'm 33 years old, married to an incredible woman who is 31, and we've been building our lives together for the past 4 years. I've learned the importance of genuinely supporting each other's passions. My wife loves running and baking, activities that bring her joy, and I wholeheartedly encourage them. We also have a delightful daughter, who is almost 3. Raising her has expanded my understanding of freedom and expression. I want her to be free to explore her interests and express herself however she likes, as long as it's safe. Interestingly, I've maintained a distant but amicable connection with my ex through social media. We don't talk, but we occasionally like each other's posts. She has since moved on and is happily married to another woman. They embrace a unique dress style, which is less intense than the fairy tale princess attire she used to wear, but still distinctive. Their photos, set against the rustic backdrop of their farm, remind me of scenes from Anne of Green Gables. It's heartwarming to see her content and at peace in her current life. Looking back, the breakup taught me a lot about relationships. It helped me grow and become a better partner in my marriage. My perspective has shifted. The dramas that once seemed overwhelming now appear as stepping stones that led me to where I am today, able to appreciate the complexities of life. My true love is the easygoing pace of our family life, supporting my wife's pastimes and watching my daughter grow. Rediscovering that old email account didn't just remind me of who I used to be. It showed me how far I've come. It was a reflection of personal growth and a reminder of the beauty of moving forward.